Okay. Good morning, all of you. We have started discussing with population forecast. Okay, and we have last class we had seen ideal population growth curve or logistic curve. Okay, so you could understand the different portions in the growth curve, that is J and K, KL and LM and N. So the curve follows the different trends. That's what we discussed initially. That dp by the initial portion jk, that is dp by dt is proportional to p. That is the first part that comes under logarithmic or geometric growth phase. Second, the portion km, that is middle of the curve, follows a transitional growth pattern. And last one is dp by dt is second one is km follows is the arithmetic increase, dp by dt is constant. And later portion, that is mn portion, that's what we discussed in the last class. Mn portion, that is proportional to the difference between saturation population, PS saturation population, and the existing population. So please remember these three patterns. Okay, so you remember how to draw a idealistic growth pattern curve or population growth curve, time versus population, and initially you may get a lag. Okay, something you can remember like this. So this is, you can plot J, K, L and M and N. So JK portion is dP by dt is proportional to P, and km portion, thus you can say dP by dt is equal to constant, and the last portion dP by dt is proportional to PS minus P, where PS is saturation concentration, saturation population. That's what we have discussed. Okay, so this point, the L point, that's a middle of the curve, that we'll discuss later what it is. Okay, middle of the point. That you remember, the typical logistic curve follows a S pattern. Okay, S pattern like this. Okay, yes. This is what we have discussed, and five or six different methods to estimate the population. Each and every method may have advantages and drawbacks, and you are in a position to select a wise method for the typical calculation. Okay. First one is arithmetical increase method, geometrical increase method, incremental increase method, graphical method, comparative graphical method, master plan, and logistic curve method. Okay. Last one is based on the numeric equations which related to the population growth curve. Okay. Yes. Arithmetic increase we have also discussed. This is meant for larger and old cities with the considerable development. And it is you just calculate average increase in the population per decade is being calculated, and this increase is again further added to the present population to find out what will be the population in the next decade. Okay, so this here is also assumption is increasing, population is increasing as a constant rate. So you just remember what type of situations you can use this method and what are the assumptions followed in this method. That is, 2 points are important. Okay, so this is for older cities, and you can have assumption that is increase in population, that is the constant rate, dP by dt is equal to constant. Okay, so that's what we have discussed. DP by dt is equal to constant, and simply just go for integration, and thereby you may get equations like this. Okay, yes. If you want to find out the population for the next decade, so what you do is with respect to the previous decades, is find out the average. That is you just with respect to the previous year, population increase per decade is calculated, then just find out the value of x bar. So that also you probably may better understand with some numerical solutions later part of this lecture. Okay, so this is what we have discussed. P0 is the particular decade, and x bar is equal to average. Okay, this is for first year, and for the second year you can also add P1 plus 1 times of x. So P1 you can substitute from this equation, so thereby P0 plus 2 times of the average value. It will go on P3, and you can have a normal equation. You can remember Pn for the particular case is equal to P's initial population plus n times of x bar value. So n corresponds to number of decades between now and also future. Okay, so say example, currently it is on 2011, and if you are going for estimation is 2051, you just find out number of decades in between these 2 years. That is, n is equal to number of decades between now and also future, and x bar is equal to average, that is arithmetic mean of population increase in the known decade, okay, with respect to the past data. Okay, so second method, this also we discussed in the last class, geometrical increase method. You can find out the percentage increase in population per decade is calculated. Okay, percentage increase in population from decade to decade is assumed to be constant. So this is the assumption. Percentage increase in population from decade to decade is assumed to be constant value. Okay, and the problem here is this method will give you a higher value. Thereby, this can be applied to a new industrial town at the beginning of the development for few decades. So please make a note on this. Sometimes it will give a overestimation of population. So that can be used only for a new industrial town at the beginning of the development, only for a few decades. Okay. So here, you can calculate for say example first decade, that this is P0 plus R by 100 into P0, that you can this is the percentage average. That percentage, that's what I have discussed in the previous one. Okay, so that P, so the assumed constant value of percentage growth per decade is analogous to the rate of interest per annum. So you can add this value R by 100. Okay, R by 100 of P0 in what percentage that you can calculate and add it, and substitute for second decade and third decade, and you just remember this equation for a common. Okay, Pn is equal to P0 into 1 plus R by 100 the whole power n. Okay, so n is your assumed growth rate. Okay, and P0 are equal to initial population, and Pn is equal to the population after n decades from the present value. Okay, yes. Now, how to calculate this assumed growth rate? That you can have different methods. So assumed growth rate R can be computed with the different ways. The number one method is you can use this formula, that is teeth root of P2 by P1 minus 1. This equation you can remember. P1 is equal to initial known population, and P2 is equal to final known population, and T is equal to number of decades in between P1 and P2. This also we discussed in the last class. Okay, or you can go with the different other calculations as well. Okay, other method to determine R values to compute the average of the percentage rate of the several known decades of the past. So you can use this formula to calculate this also. Okay, average may be either arithmetic average or geometrical average. So you can use this formula to calculate R values, and predominantly they may use this formula to calculate the percentage value. Okay, assumed growth rate percentage, constant percentage value. So you just remember number one, this formula, and if you use arithmetic average, you can use this one. And if you are using geometric average, and you can use this formula to fix R value. Okay. Yes. Third method is incremental increase method. This also we discussed in the last class. Is again the modification of the first method, modification of the arithmetic increase method, and it is suitable for average size town under normal condition. That's what we have discussed also in the last class. Average size town under normal condition, where the growth rate is found to be in increasing order, where the growth rate is always in increasing trend. Okay, yes. Then now, while adopting this method, the increase in population, increase in increment. So please make a note on. First method is increase in population, but here it is increase in increment. Increase in increment is considered for calculating the future value. Okay, yes. Okay, you can remember this formula when these layouts, how it is being calculated for P1, P2, and P3. And you can remember this formula. This also I think we have discussed in the last class, how we can make it in a simple version like this. Pn is equal to P0 plus n x bar plus n into n plus 1 by 2 into y bar, where Pn is equal to futuristic population, P0 is equal to initial population, x bar is equal to average increase of population of known decades, and y bar is equal to average of incremental increase of known decades. So please make a note on this point. Okay. So you need not remember the formulas, but at least for your examination reference, you can have your examinations for your reference and calculate only the parameters or values. Okay, so this is what we have discussed. And graphical method, it is also like it's very simple. The all database is being plotted in a simple graph, and you can project this later. Okay, this one. So these data will be given to you. Okay, and you can extend the trend something similar to this. Thereby, I can able to calculate what will be the population of 2021 and what will be the population of 2031 by simple exploration trends. Okay, so you just extend the same line. Okay, assume that when population increase in the same trend, and project it and find out what will be the population of next decades. This is the graphical method of forecasting. And next one is comparative graphical method. Comparative graphical method that's also we discussed in the last class. Okay, in this method, the census population of cities already developed under similar conditions are plotted. Okay, just please make a note on. You just say example, you are going to like calculate the population for a new city, say example Trichy, and you should also be familiar with the similar conditions, similar trend of say example same population growth in other 4 cities, say example from Madurai or somewhere in say example some places of Maharashtra, some places of say example Andhra, some sort of different cities. So what do you do? Just you plot in this graph. That's what is okay. This is I think city. This is city A, and this is city B, and this is city D. This is city C, and this is city D, and this is your city X. Is it okay? So this is your new city. This is your new city where the population to be projected, but A, B, C, D are the same trend of population growth in 4 cities, A, B, C, D. So what you do is you just plot A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, and also X in the same plot. So what you do is now you just draw a average mean curve. So please make a note on this. Something is important. You just draw a average mean curve of these 4 cities. Okay, so you may get in between. You take an average of A, B, C, D with respect to the individual years, 1960, 70, and 80, and you may get an average curve. Okay, average curve and extend for future, and the same trend can also be extended for the cities as well. So thereby you can project the population at least in a similar manner. Is it okay? So A, B, C, D, you can plot it, and you take an average population of A, B, C, D, and plot the average mean curve, extend, and the same way of extension with parallel of this extension can be plotted with your unknown city as well, and thereby you can able to calculate the population with respect to the particular decade. Is it okay? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So please remember very simple concept. So X is your unknown city, and A, B, C, D are known city of your similar trend of unknown, say example city. You just plot in the graph. A, B, C, D is the known, and X is also what you are going to project. Okay, and A, B, C, D, you just take out the average mean value and plot in the graph. Okay, and you may get an average value somewhere here, and extend with the future projection, and the same that also being extended with the unknown city, which is parallel to the average mean curve. So correspondingly, you can also calculate what will be the future population. So that is being explained. So up to this, I guess we are discussing the last class. The next method is about master plan. A master plan, normally most of the cities you would have noticed now satellite towns and city developments, and remote cities also you would have noticed, like, okay, so they may also have a master plan. Some cities in India, some states in India, they have a lot of smaller developments. You would have seen in Gujarat, you would have seen in somewhere in Maharashtra, you would have also seen in some parts of Delhi, Noida. So that and all, it is based on master plan. So what will be the expected population and what will be the futuristic growth in a particular, say example, city, and based on that you can project the population. Okay, so most of the cases master plan is being prepared for next 25 to 30 years. Please make a note of next 25 to 30 years. According to the master plan, the city is divided into various zones like residence, commerce, and also industry, and the population density are fixed for a various zone in the master plan. So please make a note on that. Something is important. Okay, what you do is you just identify an area, and that particular city may have a master plan of 25 to 30 years, and that whole area is being divided into residences, commercial areas, and also industry. And population density for a particular zone is also fixed in the master plan, And from this population density, and you can also project what could be the water demand and also waste generation, that you can work out very easily. Okay, so this method is very easy to access precisely for the design population. Please make a note on one city is in Noida and also like that. Okay, Noida, and I guess in like Gujarat, some cities. Okay, so they may have a master plan. Okay, so based on the master plan, they'll also fix this population density. So please make a note on this. Something is important. Okay, so based on the master plan with the total zone division, they'll also fix population density per hectare. So please remember, residential areas is around 10 to 40. Say example, number of persons per hectare. Small lots around 40 to 90, and multiple family quarters is 92 to 250 persons per hectare. Okay, commercial areas maybe 40 to 75. Industrial areas 10 to 40, and parks and playground maybe 25 to 125. So this could be the common population densities for the preparation of master plan. So if it is known, okay, and you can also find out and what will be the population, or what is the expected or projected population in the future decades, you can estimate very easily, because that's something is important. Okay, and if based on the master plan, if it is not been worked out, then policy makers has to take other decisions probably would have come across. Okay, so well developed cities is also been planned in this manner, master plan. Okay, so initially maybe of like very low growth, and during the course of time within 20-25 years, and the city will go off multi-level. That's what you would have seen in some cities in India. Okay, so this is by master plan method. So please remember, master plan is prepared for 25 to 30 years, and you can divide the whole areas into different zones like residence, commercial areas, and also industry. And you can also fix population densities with respect to different zones, and from this you can able to find out the design populations very accurately. So this is the common population densities for the preparation of master plans. At least you just have some idea of what will be the population density in industry in different types of areas: residential, commercial, industrial, and other related recreational areas. Okay, yes. The last method is about logistic curve method. That's what I told you. Anyway, I'm repeating one more time. This is something is important. Okay, so this is the idealistic logistic or population curve. Okay, so it follows a S-shaped curve, and you can mark J, K, L, M, and N. And K is dP is proportional to population, and K and M portion is dP by dt is equal to constant. And here M N portion dP by dt is proportional to the saturation population minus the current population. Okay, yes. So this point is called as, the L is called as point of inflection. Please make a note on point of inflection. Okay, so that's the total S curve can be divided into two parts. One is about concave, another is about convex curves. So one middle point, it will divide the curve into two different portions. That you can remember simply as point of inflection. Okay, yes. So the point of inflection is that's what I told you. Inflection point is the middle. Okay, middle, which will divide the total S curve into two different parts. So the graph of every logistic function has a S-shaped with a single inflection point, which separates the S-shaped graph into two equal regions of opposite concavity. So please remember, this something is important. Okay, so you are in a position to mark the point of inflection. Okay, point of inflection. So that the middle of the point which divides the S-shaped curve or population curve with the two equal regions of opposite concavity. One is about convex, another is about concave. Okay, so please remember, this is something is important. So here now you just see F on the right hand side is concave upward. Okay, and the point below the conflection point, that is P. It is concave downwards. So please remember, at least the center point which divides the population curve into two different equal regions of opposite concavity. That point is called as inflection point. Inflection point. Okay. Yes. This graph is, or the population growth curve is mathematically being solved with this equation. Please make a note on the entire curve can be represented by autocatalastic first order equation. Please remember this is, I think, you just remember the either Well-Hurst equation or autocatalastic first order equation for a mathematical solution for logistic curve. So it is being represented by these following equations. So you need not worry about the basic derivations, how it has come. That and all is mathematical part, but just remember this equation. Log to the base e, ps minus p divided by p is equal into p0 divided by ps minus p, which is equal to k into ps into t. Okay, where p is equal to population at any time, ps is equal to saturation population, initial population p0, k is equal to constant, and t is equal to time and yes. Okay, so please remember that is something is important. Okay, this the population logistic curve is mathematically represented as this equation. It is been proposed by Well-Hurst equation. So please remember this equation, Well-Hurst equation, to determine population growth. Okay, so is it okay? So please remember this formula. The A-shaped curve is mathematically related, or entire curve is represented by these first order equation. Is it okay?
Sir, saturation population means.
That's what we will discuss in the during the this thing. What is this? The numerical solutions. Okay, so once it is reaches to a maximum value, and it may go into the same trend. Saturation in the sense is there could not be any furthermore increment. You would have seen in steady state or saturation concentration, or would have studied in chemistry. So once it is reaches to a maximum level, and there may not be any growth. Okay, that population you can take it as saturation population. You got my point? There is this, or otherwise you can remember simply like total number of birth is equal to total number of death. It will come to a saturation. Anyway, we'll come back later. What is the, say example, importance of saturation populations in the numerical solutions. Okay, so please remember this mathematical relation, and with the logistic curve, mathematically is being proposed by Well-Hurst equation. Okay, yes, this equation I had to solve. So this is the basic equation, and we'll simply rearrange ps minus p. So what do you do? The log portion I am taking into exponential. Okay, so this is ps minus p divided by p into p0 ps minus p0, which is equal to e power logarithmic. I'm changing into e power k ps into t. So this equation, and all others now just simply rearrange. Okay, ps by p and p by p. So that's it becomes 1, and now you just take it to right hand side. Right hand side, if you move on, thereby it'll probably if you move on to a right side, and we can get this proportion, that is ps minus p0 divided by p0 into e power minus k ps into t, and slightly rearrange, and you may get equations like this. Okay, so p also mathematically can be calculated by using this formula, ps divided by 1 plus ps minus p0 divided by p0 into e power minus k ps into t. Is it okay? So that S-shaped curve is mathematically being aligned with one first order equation, and it is also being solved, and you may get a population projections by this formula. P is equal to ps divided by 1 plus ps minus p0 by p0 into e power minus k ps into t. You can also remember simply 1 plus ps by p0 minus 1 also, if you do like this. Is it okay? So you can calculate using this method, or this formula. This could be a almost not approximate estimation. I think this is a design estimation of population growth, because it is being connected to a mathematical equation. You may get a very accurate value of what is the futuristic population, or that particular projection. Is it okay? Okay, so P, you may get this equation, you may get this equation, and PS by P0 by P0, because P0 is the initial value, saturation is also a constant. So this can be a constant M, again that is again, and K into PS also again a constant. So this equation is further simplified into P is equal to PS divided by 1 plus M into e power minus N into T. Please remember. So this equation is the final solution of logistic curve. Is it okay? Because this PS is saturation population is constant, P0 the initial population also constant. So this all together you can take it as a constant. And K, the K in the previous we have also discussed, K is also a constant. K is also is constant, and K multiplied by PS again, that is PS is also a constant value. K into PS also you can make it another constant N. Thereby T becomes PS divided by 1 plus M into e power minus N into T. So this is the required equation for logistic curve. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, now the MacLean, the second, the same idealistic curve that is also further suggested that if only three pairs of characteristics values P0 and P1 and P2 at time t is equal to T0, T is equal to 0, 0, T1 and also 2T extending over a chosen period, the saturation population and the constant M and N can be estimated by following these equations. This also you can remember. Okay, MacLean is another one scientist, and he has also followed, and he had some assumptions to solve these problems and how to calculate these values. So please remember how to calculate PS, how to calculate M, and also how to calculate N value using these three equations. This also we are not going to discuss elaborately with the mathematical part. That is also not necessary for UG level. Please remember MacLean's saturation formula and constant M and also N formula. All others are known factors. You are already familiar what is P0, what is P1 and what is P2, and what is also PS, and what is T1 and T2 or what. So thereby by using these three, and you can able to calculate PS, M and also N values. Is it okay? Is it fine? So 5 different methods. Okay, please look into very carefully. Arithmetic increase method, geometrical increase method, incremental increase method, graphical method, comparative graphical method, master plan method, and logistic curve method. Is it okay? So now what I'm going to now show you are one data, and we'll solve in 5 different methods. I'm not going to discuss individual with individual problems. Same data, and we'll also plot and have a comparison, and probably you could understand better and what is the like excess projection or what is the under projection and which method is best. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and please listen carefully. And the next activity is based on these population characteristics. Okay, and we have almost all like persons are in different cities, and you may also live in different cities, and browse, take out last 4 decades population data from the site or from a census website, and you are now in the position to calculate your project city population with these methods. And if you have any difficulty, just stop me in between. Is it okay? That's the next activity, and that will be also useful for your examination point of view. Okay, let me share that. Is my screen visible, Rashwat?
Sir, no, sir.
One note, one note. One second. One second. Rashwant, is this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can able to see now this
Okay,
one.
yes, sir.
Okay, on my OneNote.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah. Now, so okay. Anyway, this also anyway I'll post it. Draw. Okay, so post it in the Dropbox as well. Okay, this I have also derived, and if it is already presented in PPT, and you can also note down in the text also. So whatever this we are discussed in the class, okay, everything I have also like presented in PPT as well. Okay, yes. Now we'll go through very faster. Okay, so population forecast. And this you just read the problem. Let's predict the population for the year 2021, 2031, and 41 for a Tiruchirappalli city from the following data. This I have taken from a site. Okay, Tiruchirappalli population 1990, 61, it was only 2.5 lakhs. In 71, this is 3.407. 81 is 3.62. 1991 is 3.87. 2001 is 7.5. Just see the jump. Okay, this is the actual data. 1991 to 2001, it was almost 100%. One more time increment. 3.8 to 7.5, and 2011 it is around 9.1. And now we are going to project population for 2021 and 2031, 2041. Is it okay? So this data, that's what I'm going to say. You just collect it from your database. Just take it from your city and have it with you. And after the discussion, you can also post as an activity. Is it fine? Rashwant, you can interact with me faster.
Yes.
Then we can go. Yeah. Okay. So 19, very simple. 1961, 71, 81, 91, and 2001 and 2011 data is being taken from a census government of India site, or from a local authorities, and it is been plotted. It is been given like this. So what do you do now? Increment in population is very simple. So how to calculate this value? This is 3.07 400 minus 249,862. Is it okay? This is 57,538. Is it okay? This value. And second value is this minus this. Third value is this minus this. And fourth value is this minus this. Fifth value is this minus this. Is it fine? So this you just find out increment in population with respect to the previous decades is being calculated, and find out the average. Is it okay? Find out the average. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years is being given, but you may have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between. That's what I told you. That is in between the decades is only 5 decades that is being taken as. So please be very cautious on this value. If I go with 6, you may feel like your solutions may be right, but it is obviously wrong calculations, because it is being mentioned very clearly in between decades, 5 decades. Okay, so just find out the average, and you can use this similar formula, very simple substitution. Pn is equal to P plus N into C value. Okay, so very simple. And 2021 is equal to base population, that is 9 lakhs 61,000, 9 lakhs 116,857 plus 1 decade of this value. 1 decade of this value, and 2 decade of this value, 2 decade of this value. So please make a note on this. Is everything is based on Pn is equal to P0, that is initial value, P0 value plus N into C value. Okay, N is equal to number of decades, first decade, second decade, and third decade after 2011. Is it okay? Any clarifications in this problem? Is it fine?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Okay, so Divya, you can also interact with me. If it is any difficulty, you can stop me in between. Is it fine? So this you are going to continue as a one activity, and you are also familiar with all your calculations. We are going to solve same data with all other methods. Is it okay? So formulas anyway you can refer. Need not worry about only the method to solve, and we are in a position to like understand better. Okay, so population you can take it, and you just find out with what is the increment with the previous decades. Just find out, and n you have to make it very clarity, like, because n is number of decades in between your population, so you may get 1 decade here, 2, 3, 4, and 5 decades. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Second problem, you can use it geometrical increase, second method, geometrical increase method, or you can simply call it as geometric progression method. Same data I'm using, and increment we have used in the previous, we have calculated in the previous step. Okay, so what you do now, you just find out geometrical increase rate of growth. So please make a note of that. Something is important. Geometric increase rate of growth, that is increment divided by the initial population. Increment divided by the initial population of that particular decade. Is it okay? Increment with the population of the decade. Okay, you may get 0.23. That's the rate of growth is it's 0.23. Okay, this formula you can use. And second one is the increment divided by the previous population into 100. Okay, so you may get 0.18%, 0.07%, 0.94%, 0.24%. Is it okay? So you can calculate like this. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this please make a note down. Otherwise, you just go through once and before going for a activity. Okay, so this is very clear. Increment we have calculated 3.07 minus 2.49 divided by 2.499. This one first initially. Second one is 0.54 or 54,645 divided by 3,07,400. That you may get a value. Okay, yes. Now we have to calculate what is IG value. IG is equal to geometrical increase. So IG you can calculate. You can refer the previous that notes. You can use this formula. That is, you can have percentage 1, percentage 2, percentage 3, percentage 4 divided by the whole power 1 by n. So you can use this geometric, how to calculate the geometric mean, and you can use this formula. Okay, so P 2021 is equal to PE plus P is equal to the previous last population. PE plus 1 plus 0.266, that is 26%. That is geometrical mean, power first decade, power second decade, and power third decade. Is it okay? So thereby you can also estimate the population. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please make it very clear. This is increment and this is your geometrical increase, that's rate of growth. And just find out what is geometrical mean using this formula. Then you can use this formula to calculate the projection. Okay, here also just make it very clear. The second method. Third method is incremental increase method. Incremental increase method. So please make a note on incremental increase method. Okay, so this very simple. So increase we have calculated. Increase we have calculated. Now you have to find out what will be the incremental increase. Incremental increase. This we have calculated in the problem number 1 or type method number 1. Okay, now you have to calculate this minus this. You can also indicate whether it is positive projection or negative projection. Please make a note on this. This value is 54,645 minus 57,538. This could be the minus value. And the second one, 25,178 minus 54,648. This is minus value. Here it is positive, 3,64,000. That's what I told you. 1991 to 2001, there could be a increase in population because of growth or something, or some policy decisions by the government or something. Okay, so this could be the positive and negative. Okay, so now you just add positive values and also negative values. You may get a incremental increase value. That is his total. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is the average value. So you just take an average of these, average of this, and you can use this formula. So this we have already discussed, and you can refer that formula how to calculate. And thereby you can find out what will be the population in 2021 and what is the population of 2031 and what will be the population of 2032, the 41. Is it okay? These are direct formula substitutions. So please remember, let me repeat again. You just find out the increase in the population with respect to the decade. This we have already calculated, and incremental increase with respect to the increase also you can calculate. That is with respect to increase, mark it plus, decrease you make it negative, and take out the average and use the third formula, that is Pn is equal to this we have already discussed or derived. Use this formula to calculate what will be the population in the immediately next decades. After 2011 is 2021, 2031 and 2032 by using n value is 1 and 2 and 3 after 3 decades. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And fourth one is what is the graphical method? What do you do? Now you have a data of 61, 71, 81, 91, 2000 and 2011 and plot a graph, and you just project the same trend. And you can now take down what will be the population is 2021 and what will be the population of 2031 and what will be the population of 2041. Is it fine? extend the trend, okay, in the dotted line and find out what will be the population. Is it okay? Fourth method.
Yes.
Okay, and fifth method, anyway, I don't have a data because I've taken some orbital data. This also, I think we have discussed in the PPT as well. Okay, city A, city B, city D, and city D. Okay, where the population is being plotted. What you do is now take out the average of individual years and take an average line. Okay, this part is over. And unknown city values also been given here, 32, 38, 43, and 50. You just plot it here. Then you just extend the line which is parallel to the average line. Is it okay? 4 individual cities you could able to understand better: A, B, C, and D. And this I have not plotted. What you do is now take an average of individual population with respect to the year and take a average line. So you may get, I think you may get a line somewhere here. Okay, you may get a line, average line somewhere here, average line. Okay, average line. This is average of all 4 cities. Then you just extend that line. Okay, unknown. This is unknown city with a known population. Okay, and this now you extend something parallel to the average line of 4 cities. Is it okay? Then you can find out what will be the population of 2021 and what is the population of 2031 and what will be the population of 2041. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Then the last one is logistic curve method. This is actual. This is, you need not look into a direct substitution of formulas. Okay, Tiruchirappalli city is already been given, same data. So P0 we are know, and P1 is next decade, and P2 is next decade, and T0 equal to 0, and T1 is equal to 10, T2 is equal to 20 years, and you can use PS how to calculate the saturation population using this formula, that Maclean's formula, and what is M and what is N. Okay, substitute, and last one, that this is the logistic curve equation. P is equal to PS divided by 1 plus M into E power N into T. And if you have the population for 3 decades, then you just find out what will be the population. Okay, so now you can have a comparison of arithmetic increase method, geometric increase method, incremental increase method, graphical method, comparative graphical method, and logistic method. And you can also plot or compare like this, and you can understand better and which is his best method to select. That's what I told you. If you estimate lower also is a problem. If you estimate the population is higher and also it is a problem, and thereby you could be a like wise person to select which method this is for futuristic projection. Okay, this is what I told you. The arithmetic increase always give you a excess estimation. Okay, actually this is only 9.5, but it is giving 10. Because it's 2031, it is only 9.5, but it is projecting 2000. This is 11. Huh? I don't know. This is 41. Sorry, 41. So 2041 itself is only 9.5 population, but this method is giving 10 lakhs in 2011 itself. Okay, just see the difference. Okay, so that's what now it is being projected. This logistic curve method with the actual first order equation is very good for actual projections. Is it fine?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So one data, it is being solved with the different methods. If you see any of the books, you may have a multi number of problems. Okay. Plus don't look into that, but you just see what is the concept behind, how to solve the problem. That is enough. Understand the concept. Okay. You need not look into so many numerical values. Take any one of the problem. Okay, and you just solve it and familiar with all these methods. Okay, the second activity will be wherever the city what you have. Okay, and if you are living in a town or if you are living in a village, you just mention or you just take a nearest city and take out the population for 4 decades is previous population, and you just project at least 3 populations later. Okay, currently we are in 2011 data are available in the census data, and you may project the population for 2021, 2031, and 2041. Is it okay? So I'll formulate the problem, post in the Dropbox, and you just familiar with your city. So thereby you should have a logical feel like you are calculating your population for your city. So that may be something impressive to solve by individual. So you need not copy, and each and every data may be unique. Okay, so if you are 72 in a class, you may get a 72 different numerical values. Is it okay? So please mention your city which you are working on and project these population methods. Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So the first activity has already been posted. Rashwan, you just follow up, and I think you can also communicate the data and date, the final date of submission. Okay, thereby we can close it. And I guess probably today or tomorrow I'll post this problem also. This you can solve in Saturday and Sunday, and maybe of next Tuesday, Wednesday we can also close these two activities. Is it fine?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, activity 2 is the city where you are living in. Okay, and browse, you just follow or browse Indian census data, or respective states may have some database, or respective state or city may have a database. Calculate the find out the actual population, which was in 20, say example, 4 decades even before you need. So you may need a data. 2011 might be there, 2001 and 1991, 1981. Four datas you just collect from the past data records and project the population for 2021, 2031, and 2041 for a particular city with all different methods. And the same the problem we have discussed, I'll also post in the Dropbox. Have a look, calculate the parameters, and compare as a comparative table at the last. Is it okay? Is it fine?
Sir, both on next week.
No, you just fix. That's what I told you. You just fix some time with your classmates and can inform to all. And on the day, they should everybody should post the solved assignments in the Dropbox with the roll number. Okay, I'll also separately create some folders for activity 1, activity 2. Now activity 1 solution is already there. Okay, those who are ready with, they need not wait for longer time, last minute or something. They can also post it whenever they. But what I do after the deadline, I'll download everything. I'll keep it for my correction. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Divya, kindly follow up. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I'll download the attendance now. What about others? So are you comfortable with this solution?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I request all of you to
Yes,
visit
sir.
all of you just visit your respective city and collect the population, have it with you. And time permits, at least you just solve and keep it for activity point of view. So thereby it will solve both the purpose. You may be familiar with the problems. You may also find out and know what will be the population in 2041. At the time you may be 40 or 45 years of old. So probably you can also see what will be the population growth. You can also understand whether your increment is uniform or it is stagnated or there is a scope for futuristic development or something by understanding the population data. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, bye. Thank you. Thank you.